Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the George Jett Show. Tonight we're hanging with Kirk Gimenez, a former ESPN anchor who has recently launched his own smart TV network called Sizzle TV. Kirk wants to share some advice for our fellow entrepreneurs who are thinking about starting their own small businesses. And where am I? Oh, there I am. Damn. So I hope everybody's having a great time. As you can see, I'm almost spitting out a lot of these shows almost on a daily basis. We're going to have a lot of nice guests. And today's guest that I really wanted to have on for a long time, he has a huge career and he's going to teach me a lot. So this episode is basically going to be about him talking because he has a lot of good advice that he just started his small business after many years of working on TV. And I got lots to learn. I'm a radio guy. I like to be behind the scenes. Usually, I don't like to be in front of the camera, but as you can see, I am. But anyway, let's bring in Mr. Kirk Gimenez. What's up, Mr. Kirk?
What's up? What's up? Thank you for having me, brother. And you're doing great. You say you like to be behind the scenes, but you're doing an amazing job
You think so?
in front of the camera as well.
Uh,
Yeah, you're
you're,
doing great.
you're
Yeah.
just giving me credit.
You have a face for radio, but everything else is
Oh,
on point.
wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, nice. We got laughs.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good looking out.
Good looking out. So, Kirk,
Um,
oh man. So tell me a little bit about your career. Explain, tell people who you are and what you've done, and then we'll go into all the tips and things that you have
well,
for us.
listen. Like I always like. Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
where to start? I hope I'm not freezing up on you,
Yeah, you're
but
freezing up a
I'm
little
a
bit.
straight up Venezuelan immigrant, raised in Miami though,
Okay.
and yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Hopefully, I'm coming back.
you are.
Raised in Miami, and worked behind the scenes here in Miami as a producer, always with the dream of being on air as a sportscaster. Ended up somehow, by the grace of God, as the first Hispanic on ESPN English side. Back in 2003 on ESPN News, did my shtick there for 4 years. Worked for the Mets for 8 years. Moved back home to Miami, and worked in a lot of markets. Miami, Channel 10, Channel 4, a lot of stations, sorry. And then I finally reached a certain age.
Yeah, we're getting just a little technical difficulties there. He's a little bit frozen, as you can see. Kurt, you're frozen there. I'm not sure if you can
Over
hear
the air
me.
TV. So I launched Sizzle TV.
All right, so he's having a little bit of technical difficulties there. Let's see if we can bring him back in. All right, Kirk, you're there?
I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
So I launched Sizzle TV to give Latinos, nuestra gente, la raza, a place to tell their stories and to have their voices heard. Because our time is now, and really everyone's streaming now. So I wanted to make the Netflix for branding and marketing for Latinos.
Nice. So you've done a lot of TV, and I've seen your segments. I wish I knew you a long time ago, so like we can team up and you can show me how you did your segments because you did a lot of your own segments, correct? Like you did almost like produced it everything yourself. You shot it. Sometimes you shot it yourself. That's
Yep.
something I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that yet. And that's something I've done film. I've done weddings and all that. But like working for strictly TV and producing packages and things like that, I haven't done that. And I would love to do that one day. But let's see. What do we
You know
got?
what? Maybe you could work for Sizzle.
Well, yeah. Send over the paperwork, man. I'll sign up right away. By the way, your internet connection is working great now.
That's good. That's good. Feel like we're a two-man Brady bunch, a
I
Latino
know.
Brady bunch, right?
I know. So tell me the steps to opening up your small business.
Well, like we just mentioned, I'm behind the camera, in front of the camera kind of guy. So what do I know about business? I know two things: diddly and squat. Mucho y nada, pero de verdad nada. And I started researching on how do I do this? How to putting something that's tangible out there in the business world. And I found through help of some friends, unos amigos, unos primos. Tú sabes cómo estamos aquí en Miami con los primos.
Hey, everybody's a
they
cousin.
recommend, yeah, they recommended that I do. Oh,
It's a
everybody's got
li-
a cousin in Miami.
Everybody.
Everybody's got a cousin. So I found out the SBDC, which is it's a government agency. We pay for it with our taxes,
Okay.
and they've been an immense help. They help from anything to business planning, which I had no idea about, to securing funds and loans, to legal advice, to helping you find legal advice at a at a cheaper rate.
Right.
And of course, everything moves a little slower, but it's amazing because it's all free. And it's like a second education for me in business, and business planning. And not only that, they help you create profit and loss margins. And it's just been I felt like even before I launched the network, I felt like a success. Like I was already a success story because I had already found this path and went all in on a vision and a dream that I had. And the SBDC has been an immense help. And if you go to their website, you can find your local office. The Miami one is with the Florida International University. There it is, America's SBDC.org. I recommend that for even if you've already launched your business, because say you launch your business, you're doing great, and you know your business, right? You know whatever product you're producing, whatever product you're selling,
Right.
but are you running the business correctly? Do you have your profit and loss margins? Do you have your business planning? Are you paying your loans off correctly? And these are all things that are pitfalls where you think your business is running great, but you didn't do the homework, you didn't pave the road correctly, and this is why a lot of businesses fail. Is they forget or they don't realize that you have to do all this homework behind the scenes. Even it's a lot more work, but it's worth it for longevity. And to make sure you're doing your business right. When the time taxes comes and hits, you don't want to be caught by surprise. But so they give you tax advice, legal advice. It's basically a one-stop shop for anyone who's needs help, launching a business. And of course, here in Miami, you're going to find someone who speaks Spanish or Spanglish. Entonces hay ayuda para cualquier persona que quiere buscar ayuda y lanzar su negocio.
Right. Right. So a lot of businesses, I noticed that small businesses, including even DJs, gig workers, um, any type of business that you're in front of customers, you have to have your liability insurance, you have to have your accounting, and I know a lot of people that in the accounting section they merge both they run it as a personal account, so they have one bank
Mhm.
account with and they get checks from the company and they pay FP&L and they do all of these things back and forth and commingling the funds back and forth. And when it comes to tax time, they don't know what to do. Um,
Disaster.
they also the profit and loss, which is a great report. They don't know how much really income they
What's
came
that?
in, how much they're spending in advertising, because I notice a lot of companies that will make an income and then they don't advertise. You say, hey, you need $3,000 for advertising, right? And they're like, well, that's a lot of money. I don't want to spend that. And then if you think about it, most of these companies, they have 10%, 20% of their profits go into marketing. So if they're pulling in $100,000 a year in the business, and they're crazy, they're like screaming over $2,000, $3,000 for advertising. It's like, dude, that's not even a half a percent there, you know. So that's one thing that I've noticed, the profit and loss People just don't take that in their
They
budgeting.
don't, and that's a big one as well. That I was an eye opener for me, creating a profit and loss report
Yeah.
and projecting it 1 year out, 2 years out, 3 years out. And the SBDC advisor has helped me on that. And I've spent hours and hours and hours over months with this person, the advisor that was assigned to me, Alina. Bless her soul. Thank you, Lord, for putting her into my life.
Right.
Gracias a Diosito, Dios mío. And I have a meeting. Our next meeting is set up in a few days. But I've spent hours and hours and hours with her. Game planning, um, detailing the profit and loss, the business plan, who my target audience is, what's unique about my business, what my audience is, who my target customer is. I mean, everything. You name it. And they help you realize things that you at first maybe not didn't realize you needed or needed to tackle and talk about and address. And simple things, like opening up your own business bank account, your own business credit card, keeping all that separate, not putting anything in your name. It's all in the business's name. And not intermingling your personal finances with your professional and business one, and always remembering to detail all your expenses, like you were saying earlier. They just put it on the personal credit card and all that. No, you got to detail expenses, and if you do put it on your personal card, you got to expense it and have a list. So it's a real eye-opening experience, and you don't have to do it alone.
Right.
Um, there's free help out there, and that's why I'm a big proponent of the SBDC, because I would be in deep trouble without them. And so to take it from someone who's gotten the help, who's gotten the free help. Did I mention it was free?
I know it's
Um,
free.
and, yeah, and I don't work for them or anything. It's just I really want to help people
Right. It's part of the
live
it's
their dreams.
right, and it's part of the government. This is not like we're not trying to sell you anything here. It's a free service that the government gives
Right.
you, and you can get a lot of information there. I think they have business consulting, they have business
Everything.
planning, accessing capital. That's another one that's very important, and
Capital is huge.
a lot of paperwork and stuff that you might want.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I was gonna say something here. Did you how hard was it for you like to register the name, like say Sizzle TV? Let me go ahead and go to full screen so they can see your logo there. Sizzle TV, I see you
That's
have it
Sizzle.
trademarked. So tell me a little bit about it. What
Trademark.
yeah, tell me about that. How'd you come up with that, and how difficult was
You know,
it?
again, again, it's difficult. It took several months, and lawyers, and researching the name, finding the right name. It's spelled with an X because, let's face it, it was easier to trademark than with an S, because there's so many companies that have the S. And that's why there's companies like Hulu and unique names that aren't easily searchable or trademarked.
Right.
The more unique the name is, the easier it is to trademark. But yeah, it cost an arm and a leg, and I did that before I found the SBDC, and they're the lawyers that they hook you up with and refer to you. If not, it would have been a lot cheaper. So instead of hundreds of dollars, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars trademarking not only Sizzle TV, but my production company that produces Sizzle TV. I registered that as well, and it's all through the government. And then you get the lawyers to make sure that you didn't mess up, or that to make sure that you applied for it correctly.
Right. There's a lot of unique names and everything that are not even trademarked. People are doing business with a registered name, but they're not. It's not trademarked to them.
Yep. Or
Anybody
registered.
anybody can just go in and register it and say, this is me.
Yep, yep, yep.
Oh, we have a question in there from Nancy. How long do you think the fruit of the business will be seen?
Well, for
So,
for streaming, it could be immediate. Once you're on the air, you can find sponsorships. You can find businesses who want to collaborate with you, and it's long term. Streaming is here to stay, and it's just growing exponentially. And I think it was a majority of the people are streaming now in the U.S. And how many Latinos are streaming? Just as many as anybody, as any other minority or a black and brown group, or Anglos. Everyone's streaming.
Right.
La abuela, abuelos, abuelitos, abuelitas are streaming. And it's the new future. The future is here. The future is now,
Right.
and streaming is the way to go. And that's why I wanted to make it a free app to download on Amazon Fire and Roku TV. It's absolutely free, because it is, with a focus on Latinos. And let's face it, not everybody has $8 to $12 to spend every month on content, and that's why I wanted it for it to be free, for
So
to help people, entertain themselves, lifestyle reports, family, central reports and centric reports, and just a way to people to have fun.
got it. So at the end of the show, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions about Sizzle TV. But somebody asked a specific question: what is Sizzle TV? So I know you kind of touched on it already, but could you just spend like 30 seconds on explaining really quick what that is, and then later on we can go in the whole thing.
Definitely. Sizzle TV is a smart TV app. It's a streaming app. It's, like I mentioned, free. Did I mention it was free?
Yes.
And you can download it if you have a Roku TV. You can download it for free. You just hit search on your main page, on your main menu of your TV, and search Sizzle with an X. You can download that. You can download it on Amazon Fire. And we're a lifestyle, channel network, focusing on Latinos and Hispanics. And our reports are in Spanglish, and we focus on family centric
You're
events, free events,
right. You're not doing a new
that
Que
kind of
Pasa
stuff.
in USA, are you? Behind the scenes?
You're saying?
Are you gonna make like a new Que Pasa in USA behind the scenes?
No,
Spanglish? That's
no, no.
okay.
No, Rocky Echevarria. No.
Right. Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, technology is just amazing. Technology is just amazing. It allows anybody to do just about anything. I mean, just streaming. I mean, this little thing that I do here. You couldn't do this a couple of years ago, and now you can. If you have a lot of budget, you can do anything. You can set a multicam. You can have guests lined up. You can do your journalist. You can do weather. You can do local news. You can do entertainment. You can do just anything off basically a phone. A lot of people have just a phone
and
for
and
for
and,
as a webcam.
and listen, like you said, during the pandemic, the Today Show, Good Morning America, the biggest, over-the-air broadcasting companies, even Netflix, I've seen have had people in interviews, via a web interview, or like we're doing now. So it's just the future, and the future is here, and coronavirus, the COVID, brought it about sooner rather than later, and actually it opened up the opportunity. And because of COVID, I was able to open up Sizzle TV, because I realized I can do this myself. The technology exists, like you said. If you have the vision, you have the drive, and you see an opportunity, you go out and take the bull by the horns, and you will it into
Right.
existence. For me, it was easier to make it happen and then explain it to people than try to explain it to people. Like
Right.
now, I could just say, you want to see what Sizzle TV is all about? I have a web link. Here's what our reports are all about. Go download it on Roku. Go download it on Amazon Fire TV. It's not going to cost you anything. We're also simulcast on Binge Networks, which is another streaming network, and through them, I partnered with them, and they've been amazing. I'm also simulcast on 90 different um, online platforms, so digital platforms, not
Wow.
not streaming, but digital platforms.
Right. Digital
So
platform.
say a local, or a national, or I've even done reports from Puerto Rico, New York, New Jersey.
Wow.
There's no limit to any business I can feature. If you want to be featured, you can get yourself featured on TV, unpack your story, have your own thumbnail, your own show streaming, and really tell the story of who you are, what your business is, what it's all about, and have it across all those platforms. So Roku, Amazon Fire, Binge Networks, 90 other digital media platforms. So you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Right.
And yes, through Binge Networks, we're on phones as well. So if you download the Binge Networks app, you'll see Sizzle TV there as well.
Okay.
And again, it's just a new way of the way people are ingesting media. People are looking at your YouTube show, or streaming live on Facebook, or streaming live on Instagram. Um,
Do you
you know,
could you
the
could you
shackles are off.
right, right. Now jumping back into the business
Mhm.
aspect, could you give us a couple of hints for either Instagram hints or being you know, because you're a journalist reporter, you're always in front of the camera. Could you give us how to speak to people, give us some hints on that, because everybody's on their cell phones and doing videos now. So
Well,
give
the
us a
key
couple
is
of
to
hints.
look right at the camera. Like,
Oh,
I'm
look
not
at the
looking
camera.
at you. I'm
Right,
looking right at the camera.
right,
So you look right at the camera,
right,
and pretend you're talking to a person. Like right now, I'm looking at the camera. I'm not looking at you. If I'm looking at you, I'm looking off the
right,
camera, so it
right,
doesn't look like I'm engaging at people, right?
right,
So even if you're on your phone, whatever you're doing, look at the camera. Don't look at yourself. Like right now, I'm looking at myself. I'm not
right,
engaging the viewer, right? Even if
right.
you're just on Instagram or your reel or whatever, you're the people are going to tell who are watching it that you're not looking at them. Look at them. Look at the camera.
Got it.
Hello, hello. Yes, right at the camera. I'm looking
Right.
at you. I'm
Yeah, I
looking
see
at you.
that. I see that.
That's number one. Another one is, if you can't just speak off the cuff. I've been telling these, and I've mentored a lot of people in my life. So, um, and this has been a free service that, I've been telling people about for 20 years maybe now, and that's QPrompter.com. CUE, like take your Q, QPrompter.com. It's a free prompter. You can turn any computer into an actual prompter. You just copy and paste whatever script you want, you put it in there. You can control how fast it goes, and you can record yourself. It can help you record yourself on your laptop, or I've never used it on a phone, so maybe you can try it on a phone. But
I'm sure it works.
yeah, and you know what? You can use it to practice as well. I always tell people, practice, practice, practice. Just record yourself, and now we have the ability to record yourself. You don't have to post it. You don't have to make it
Right.
live or anything, but constantly, every day, how are you improving your delivery? Are you practicing every day? Are you recording yourself every day? Record yourself every day. Use qprompter.com. Write like you speak. When you write your script, be prepared, and then just read off the prompter, and practice, practice, practice. Record yourself, critique yourself, send it to people like myself, who I love mentoring. I have lots of on-camera experience, and I've mentored a lot of people, and I tend to give good tips, and analyze yourself.
Right.
If you don't want to send it to somebody, you can always record yourself and then look back at it and say, oh, that was terrible, delete it the next day, and then record yourself every day.
Right. If you guys have any questions for Kirk, please make sure you go right now to the comment field and type in a question for Kirk, business
It says right there,
related.
type in.
Yeah, it says it up there, but they're shy. These guys, we got a lot of shy people here, you know, and they also don't know that we're live right now. So that's the other thing.
uh,
We have a question, or Eddie says, "I like Q prompter. That's a great
That's right. And he
advice."
spelled it right. And that's exactly how it is. Qprompter.com,
Mm,
qprompter.com. And so there's no limit in what language you can use it for. You could use it for Spanish. You can copy and paste your script in Spanish. Lo metes ahí en qprompter.com, y es como profesional. Lo tienes ahí. You have it up on your computer, and you can read right off of it.
nice,
So
nice.
I'm glad I was able to at least help one person with the Q prompter, but
So
I've helped a lot of people throughout the years with that,
right.
just
So now
practicing.
going back into the business, there's one thing that gets me. People don't set milestones for their business. They open up a company, register the name, got a banking account, open up shop, and go out and try to make money. No milestones whatsoever, no goals other than making money. I see that so wrong. I think everything should have milestones, and know when you succeeded, and know also when to pull out and say, "Hey, I've invested too much money in this business. It's not going anywhere. Go to the next one." So, what do you have in mind for milestones and goals for companies?
Um, you have to celebrate those milestones too. You have to celebrate those milestones.
And you got to celebrate them, of course.
Uh, For me, for Sizzle TV, I have a. I'll tell you my end game, and that would be my, hopefully in 5 years, we've achieved this milestone, and that's to be, as synonymous with streaming as Netflix is. I want to be the Netflix of marketing and branding, of free content, where people can just hop on Sizzle TV, search for cool stuff. How many people go on Netflix and just surf around? Sometimes they don't even watch a show. They just, oh, what's out there? What's going on? I want to be that. I want to be the Netflix of marketing and
Right.
branding in a streaming world, in a streaming economy.
So Eddie says, starting is half the battle. Yeah, I know it is half the battle to start your company, and that's okay. And like I said, everyone does that. However, those what do you call it? Those goals, your next step, what to do next. People just don't. I don't think people. A lot of people don't set that, and I think that's something that people
I agree with
should
him.
invest
Opening
in that.
opening is a milestone, and I've celebrated every milestone along the way, and that's something that my business advisor with the SBDC taught me.
Right.
To celebrate those milestones. That when I launched on Amazon Fire TV, I celebrated that. When I
Right.
launched on Roku, that was a huge milestone. And I'm not talking about celebrating, una cervecita, un vinito, a little beer, a little something, something, a little libation.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you celebrate, and yes, and thanks for the laughs yet again, big guy.
Mm.
Um,
The crowd's in the back there.
so
They're a little
it,
delayed.
it is opening that business as a milestone, because you have to have the vision and the plan,
Right.
and not be afraid. I think for a lot of people, it's the fear that holds them back. And I've always been a dreamer. That's how I ended up on ESPN.
Hmm.
Never afraid to chase a dream, never afraid to chase a vision, and do what it takes to achieve that dream. Si uno lo sueña, uno lo puede hacer. In this
Gotcha.
great nation that is the United States of America, it is true. If you dream it and you work it, you can achieve it. Not where else can you get free help, to launch your business and run your business than in the great capital nation that is the United States of America. And if you're just joining us, I got a lot of help from the SBDC, which is a government agency, provides free help even if you already have your business launched. I recommend contacting them if you haven't done a profit and loss margin, if you haven't done a business plan, if you've had difficulty finding a loan, they can help you find capital.
Okay, cool. So
Mhm.
let's put up that website back on, and we're going to be wrapping up very soon. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask now, because we will be wrapping up very shortly. Try to keep the shows about 30 minutes or so, and we're at the 28-minute mark.
Wow.
Um,
Well, then
so,
before we go, let me mention, I've because I launched my business, I got involved with the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
okay.
So even, it doesn't matter where you're watching, reach out to like-minded people, like-minded entrepreneurs. The people at the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce are amazing Latinos here in Miami, and they're all out to help each other, vision wise, advising wise, and it's been a great community that I fell into with their founder Lilian Lopez. So find the business community that is really out to help all businesses and all small businesses. So I recommend that as well.
Okay, and that would be the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm sure you guys can look that up on Google on your favorite search site. Okay, so Jesse basically said exactly what I was referring to. He calls it a vision board. He says write down, and he meant W. Write down, work towards it, and see if you can achieve it. And I agree. I think that's one of the things that is lacking from a lot of businesses. You start the business, and then you're like, okay, I'm working on it, but that's it. You don't set time for. Let's say you want to go on vacation. you have no plans for that because you're working, you're making money. You can't stop making money. You don't have any vision to say, okay, I'm going to take the family out for a week. Who's running the business? How do I close it down? Who do I put in charge? So when I say visions, also just like revisions of cell phones, and like say for example, let's take either Apple or Samsung. They know they're going to come up with a new version. They have to come up with a list of things to continue selling and improving their company. So that's just one thing that I see a lot of people struggle with.
The
And I
Rock
know,
recently, yeah, The Rock recently posted on his Instagram. He sat down and wrote vision and did like a vision board for all the
no.
businesses he had. So the tequila, the $7 production. So I think he's kind of successful.
Well, yeah.
So yeah,
Once you make it and you got tons of cash, then you can do whatever you want. But
but even then, he still do.
what's that? Say that one more time. You got cut off.
He's got all that success, and he's still doing vision boards.
Well, you got to continue, man. I mean, if you're a creative guy, you got a lot of things to look forward. I mean, how much money do you possibly need to just relax and calm down? Are you ever going to do that? What's your number?
You know what? I don't think about life that way.
Right,
And that's
exactly.
not, yeah, that's not why I started Sizzle. I started Sizzle, para la gente, para la raza,
Right,
and to tell stories and to create something of my own. I was done working for other people and making TV for other people and
right.
making them money and making them look good. So I was like, you know what? If I can do it for other people, I can do it for myself. And there's a freedom to that. It's not just financial. Um,
All
there's
right.
a there's this personal freedom, I think, and you're your own boss too. We've talked about this um, in past person to face conversations,
Right.
and that's what it's about, having that freedom. And sometimes you say, when you create your own business, and then you have 20 bosses because you have to deal with the clients and stuff. But usually the buck stops with you. So
Got it.
at least you have that personal freedom.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us today and for sharing a lot of information because I think I needed that. I mean, I learned a lot from you. I am going to visit that site and follow that through. I'm going to check out the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Florida. Right.
SFLHCC, South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Right. And if you guys are not from South Florida, you can go in your Google search and see what's available in your state. You don't have to, if you're black, maybe they have some for blacks and some for Latinos and who knows what, but check it out. I don't know. I mean, I don't
And
know.
listen, black businesses have a huge community as well. I've
Yeah,
encountered a
yeah.
lot. I've encountered a lot of black business owners online,
Right.
and connected with them as well. And what the cool thing about entrepreneurs nowadays, it's we all want to lift each other up, especially the us black and brown entrepreneurs. It's an immediate connection. An immediate community, and everyone's looking out for each other. And we're always finding ways to collaborate. And it's just a way, not being afraid, not being shy of reaching out to other black and brown business owners and entrepreneurs, because our time is now. And if you have a vision, you have a passion, there's other people out there who want to collaborate with you.
Perfect. All right, Kirk, tell everybody how you can be reached. Give us all your details. Social
Well,
security number.
you see my name is that's my name everywhere at
Really?
Kirk Gimenez
Okay.
on the Twitter, on the face of the book, on the Insta of the gram, on
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
link on the link of the. I love the last thing of that. On
Yeah.
the link of the in, it's at Kirk Gimenez everywhere, and then at Sizzle TV, it's Sizzle with an X.
Right.
So basically XTV. So it's Sizzle with an X, and one last reminder: download it for free on Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, or look for us on the Binge networks as well. But I'd appreciate any downloads of our free app. Reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, any feedback. If you have a business and you want to tell your story, reach out to me as well. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about being a Latino and a Hispanic, and I want to pave the road for everybody towards success, and I want everybody to be able to tell their story.
That is cool. That is cool. So thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any questions for him, feel free to leave them in the comments field or get a hold of him. I'll see you guys in the next show. Thank you so much, Kirk.
Thank you, George.